All right, let's talk about the EFT standard test week. It's coming after the Indomitable cycle. We are in our final weeks of that. Following this cycle, you're going to have an EFT standard test week. So, what it is, it's a week of standardized testing that periodically gets put in between cycles of training and within EFT. If you've been a member long enough, you will have conducted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these EFT standard weeks, and you're able to now track your progress over time with these standard weeks. Whereas in a cycle of training, it's 10 weeks long. We may have some testing, and most cycles have some sort of testing in the beginning, and then we retest the end of the cycle and see what kind of progress we saw in that cycle of training. We don't always do that, but a lot of times you'll see something will be tested before and after. With this EFT standard test week, it's the same each time across months, across years. Within a cycle, it's specific to that cycle of training. And that's how this differs. This is like generalized. If EFT were to conduct fitness testing for law enforcement officers, this is the testing that we would do, given potential equipment limitations and stuff like that. But this is what we got. So day one of your EFT standard test week is we're going to test the 3-rep max deadlift. So lower body strength, lower body pulling strength, posterior chain strength, 3-rep max test. And then we have a suitcase carry. Suitcase carry, the ideal version is you take 50% of your body weight and you carry that in one arm. I weigh 205 pounds, 200 pounds, depending on the day. So I'd have to have a 100-pound dumbbell, and I would hold that in one hand. Try to keep as much alignment as I possibly can. You don't want to walk holding the weight off to one side or rotating a certain way. Ideally, you're keeping strict alignment, and you're going for a max distance, recording how much feet you cover. A scaled version, if you literally can't hold that amount of weight, is to do 25 to 30% of your body weight, hold that in one hand. Of course, if needed, you can scale it down even further. Those are just the two options that we have listed within the app. Finally, we have, for this day's testing, we have burpees. So you're gonna do max rep burpees in 60 seconds. All you're doing is just no added weight. You're just doing for 60 seconds, the max amount of burpees you possibly can. Very good general work capacity test for that shorter duration effort, 1 minute of work. And then sit-ups. Max sit-ups done in 60 seconds. Are sit-ups the best exercise in the world? No. Are they very common in law enforcement? 100%. Extremely common in law enforcement, especially fitness testing within law enforcement. You're going to do a max set of sit-ups in 60 seconds, so max reps in 60 seconds. There's going to be some extra work on some of these days. It's not going to be just the test. There might be some added on sets, or there might be some added on exercises that you do at more of a sub-maximum intensity, just so you get more out of the day, the training day. We don't want to waste the day with just like 1 or 2 tests. So you might see some extra stuff, but that was the main testing for Monday. Tuesday, we have max pull-ups and 400-meter run. So keep the pull-up strict, very, very strict. Full elbow extension at the top or at the bottom, and chin above the bar at the top. Keep it strict. So many times people want to shortchange the bottom position. They keep a lot of bend in the elbows. Keep it strict. If you need to use a band, just record what band you used, usually by a color, red, blue, green, black, whatever. Record what band you use. Put that in the note somewhere so that when you retest it, you could use that band again. Hopefully you get to a point, you stick with us long enough that you improve your pull-ups to a point where you're doing no unassisted pull-ups. But if you need to use a band, just document that you used a band and then retest it when it comes around again using that band as well. So 1 set of max rep strict pull-ups, a couple of add-on sets there just to get a little bit more work out of it. And then a 400-meter run. 400-meter run comes before the pull-ups. Before the pull-ups, you're doing a 400-meter run. We give you some warm-up options on what you can do just to get prepared for it, but it's just a 1 max effort 400-meter run. It's that like high intensity anaerobic glycolytic system effort. It's kind of, for a lot of people, it'll be speed based, but for a lot of people, there will be some endurance in there as well. So just a 1 full send effort, 400 meters, record your time. Wednesday's just a recovery day. We give you some effective fitness combatives options you can do for that recovery day. Thursday, we have really just a recovery day. It's prepping for the upcoming Tactical Pro Agility test that's on Saturday. So there's some work in there: goblet squats, kettlebell swings, push-ups, planks, side planks, stuff like that. Easy work, more of an active recovery than anything. Same with Friday, pure recovery. I mean, it's just we give you a recovery circuit. It's a lot of mobility and stretching for that Friday. But really just recovering. And then Saturday is going to be your EFT tactical agility drill, and then the EFT standard conditioning test. So if you don't know what the EFT tactical agility test is, take a look at the video that's attached with it and follow the directions as you see fit. Just a timed event. And then following that's the EFT standard conditioning workout, which is as fast as possible. So for time, you're gonna run 800 meters, do 3 rounds of 10 push-ups, 15 sit-ups, 20 air squats, and then you're gonna run 400 meters. So you get an 800 meter infill. It's like getting to the problem. And then you have some 3 rounds of calisthenics, which is like solving the problem. And then running 400 meters is like getting away from the scene, getting exfilling, getting away from the problem. So that's it for your EFT standard test week. Really, it's almost, it's testing. So there's high intensity bouts, but it almost acts like to some degree, a deload week because of how hard we train during the cycles of training in EFT. So it's awesome to do this week because you get to set some markers that you can then track over time. Gets you like taking a blood pressure, seeing where you're at right now. And then we'll get into some more cycles of training. Following this one, we got an awesome cycle of training coming up. Take advantage of this week. I mean, we just came out of a very, very high volume, high intensity, very intense cycle of training. So take advantage of this week. Go hard on the test, but otherwise treat it like almost like a deload, and then we'll get back into it next week. That's your EFT standard test week. We'll be tracking and monitoring results on this. Hopefully you see some big numbers, some good numbers. Either way, give it your best shot and go get it. Let's have some fun.